Alright, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video and I'm going to be going over the bare necessities. That is, the bare necessities of gear, of what I bring when I'm out hiking. Specifically, this video will be going over the gear that I'm bringing on my thru hike of the 800-mile Arizona trail. So the reason why this channel, why my name is Bare Necessities, is a friend gave me that name based off of the obvious fact that I like to hike with the bare necessities. I just bring, the bare minimum of what I need to get by on trail. The reason I do that is mostly just for comfort of, having a light bag on your back makes life a lot easier on trail, makes it a lot easier to go long distances without tiring out too much. You don't have to worry about, the pain in your shoulders, and makes it easier on your knees and on your feet. And yeah, so this is a video going over the bare necessities. This is a Palante Packs Ultralight. It's a pretty small bag, but I don't need that much stuff for this trail, so I can fit everything in this bag. One of the first things that I have here in the front pocket is Garmin InReach. And this is a GPS device. It's useful for mapping, but also for emergency purposes. It has like an SOS function, that type of stuff. You can also like text and email people even if you don't have phone service. It's unlikely I'll need any of those things other than mapping, but you can do that on your phone anyway. It's more of a backup emergency device. Okay, and then so I'll have a couple of water bottles on both sides of this pack. Probably have like a 4-liter capacity or something like that. And then some of the features that I really like about this bag, one of the main things is this stretchy pocket at the bottom of the bag. So when you're hiking, you can have like all your snacks for the day just inside here, and basically as you're hiking, you can just reach in, grab a snack, eat it as you walk. You don't waste any time. And then when you're finished with the wrapper, there's a little hole on this side. You can just put the wrapper in through this hole, so all the wrappers build up on one side and all the food's on the other side. It's just a really efficient way of hiking and eating at the same time. Okay, before I do what's inside the bag, I'm going to mention the rain jacket that I'll be wearing is this. It's unlikely that it'll rain much in Arizona, but I could get some rain. But it's also it's kind of like a wind barrier, adds a bit of warmth as well. And it's always necessary to bring a rain jacket on a long distance trail. So this is the Enlightened Equipment Visp, I believe it's called. Enlightened Equipment Visp. It's very lightweight. You can really pack it down pretty small, shove it in the bag when I'm not using it. And then my puffy jacket is what I'm wearing right now, is the Enlightened Equipment, same company, the Apex. It's got a hood as well. And it's keeps me warm, It's a good jacket. And then other than that, I'll have like a hiking shirt underneath. I usually use the Columbia Silver Ridge hiking shirt, and that's good because it's like you can unbutton it when it's too hot, you can roll up the sleeves, but also roll them down for like sun protection, that kind of thing. And then I'll have shorts, just like I have these Lululemon, like black shorts that I'll be wearing, and the shoes that I'll be wearing while hiking are these Vivo Barefoot Primus Trail FG. So these are basically like trail running shoes, but I found that they're like pretty ideal for hiking. They're very minimal, but Arizona trail will be a bit rocky, so it will be a bit rough on the feet, but I've done plenty of hiking in these shoes, so pretty confident that they'll work out pretty well. Alright, and then one other thing to mention about the bag is there's also this very stretchy pocket at the back, so I can fit a lot of food in this. So I have food inside the bag. I don't have any food in here right now, but I'll have food inside the bag. I'll have like snacks in this bottom pocket, and then I'll have plenty of food right here as well. So you can actually I've carried a week's worth of food in this bag before. Alright, so moving on to inside the bag. Alright, so I've got like a bunch of stuff in this little dry bag. I'm going to go over that in a sec. First, I will show you. So this is an OP sack, it's called. It's like an odor-proof bag. This is usually what I'll basically keep all of my food in this, especially at nighttime. Just in Arizona, it's not much of an issue, but in places where you just need to be aware of, like, you know, animals at night come in to try and steal your food, having it in an odor-proof bag helps a lot in that, well, they're less likely to sniff it out, right? Okay, and then my shelter for the trail is a tarp. This is a Z-Pax tarp. It's very lightweight. It's likely that a lot of the time on the trail, or most of the time, I'll be cowboy camping, as in no shelter. I'll just, you know, sleep on the ground because it's not going to rain. But, you know, on the off chance that it rains or it snows, I'll set up this tarp. I'm not going to set this up right now, but it's pretty straightforward. Usually I either use a trekking pole or a stick that I find, and then just peg it out. Yeah, and sleep under the top. The pegs that I'll use to peg it out are, these are MSR mini groundhog stakes. They're pretty good. I think, you know, the soil in Arizona can be like really tough, so I might have to switch them out for more like needle-like stakes, which are easier to get in the ground. And then underneath my tarp, for the ground sheet, I use this polycryo. Literally, it's basically just a piece of plastic, right? So I lie this out on the ground, and I'll use this when I'm cowboy camping as well. And that, you know, just keeps the dirt off you. If it's wet, it keeps you dry, like if the ground is wet. So I lie this out, and then I put, you know, my sleeping pad on top of it, and then, you know, I lie down on top of this. It's very lightweight, very cheap, easy to get one of these. And then I have a little bit of extra string in case somehow some of the string on the top breaks or whatever. All right. And then the sleeping pad that I'll use is very minimal. It's a little bit ridiculous, but I've used this plenty of times for lots of hiking, and, you know, I've camped on very hard, like gravel type surfaces, and I don't know, I sleep well on hard surfaces. I don't find it an issue at all. It also, so this is, can't remember what it's called. It's some type of foam basically, but it's 1/8 of an inch. So it's just a very thin, like, foam pad, and I've just cut it down to torso length, so it just goes from like hip to shoulder length. Lie this down, sleep on top of this, adds a little bit of warmth. The only thing is there will be some cold nights in Arizona, so I'm not sure if I might switch this out for like a Thermarest Z Lite, which is also a foam pad, but it's a bit thicker, and will keep me a bit warmer. I think this will be enough, but potentially I'll need something a bit warmer. So I'm going to decide on that later. This also acts as like, kind of like a sort of a frame in the bag, I guess. So when I pack my bag, this is the first thing that goes in. So I put it in the bag so that it's like inside like this. Keeps like, it means that nothing is kind of like uneven on my back or whatever. It just makes it comfortable when you're wearing the pack. And then the sleeping bag that I'll use is actually technically a quilt. This is Enlightened Equipment. It's a 20 degree, which is like -6 Celsius, 20 degree Fahrenheit. That's kind of like the lowest you could possibly go and still be somewhat comfortable. So, you know, this will keep me warm in like below freezing, but you know, you don't want to go much below like -5 or something like that. Anyway, it's a quilt because it doesn't zip up all the way. It's basically more like, it's more one-sided, like you don't really have anything on your back. It does have like a closed foot box, so where your feet are is all enclosed, but you don't really need any of it on your back. It's more like a blanket basically, and that keeps it a bit lighter. Yeah, it's a great one. It packs down really small, keeps you really warm. It's great. So that's everything in the bag, other than, oh yeah, I also use this. This is it's basically a sleeping bag liner. It's a silk liner. This is pretty unnecessary. A lot of people don't use a sleeping bag liner. I like to use it partly because it's really comfortable. It's silk and it's just nice on the skin. But also it adds a bit of warmth to your sleep system, so you can actually go, like, it adds actually a decent amount of warmth to the sleep system. And it also means that your sleeping bag doesn't get dirty, because the thing is, especially like your legs get all like covered in dirt and mud or whatever, and you're all sweaty, and over time, if you're using a sleeping bag for like, you know, day after day after day, it starts to get dirty, and then eventually you have to wash your sleeping bag. And I'm not a fan of washing sleeping bags down, because the down can get really, if you do it wrong, you can basically mess up your sleeping bag. So I prefer to just wash this. This is easy to wash. It dries really quickly. And then I basically just never wash the actual sleeping bag. And then, oh yeah, one other thing. I usually just leave this in the bottom of the bag, but if it's raining, what I do is the first thing that I put in the bag is this. So this is basically a plastic bag. It's made of nyloflume or something, I don't know. Some kind of plastic, completely waterproof, really lightweight, it's cheap. And basically I put this in the bag first, and then all of my stuff goes inside this. And then once I've, you know, packed everything in, you just roll up the top, keeps everything dry. You don't need a rain cover on the outside of the bag. You just let the bag get wet, and then this keeps everything dry. Again, on the Arizona Trail, unlikely I'll need it, but you know, on the off chance that it does rain, I would be using this. And then finally, let me just go over the stuff in this little bag. So inside here, I've got some socks. These are just icebreaker, like merino wool socks. And I also have a pair of Darn Tough merino wool socks. I have a buff. This is especially good at night, like if it's pretty cold, it can cover like, you know, my neck and head, a lot of my face with this. And early in the morning or late in the evening when it's cold, this is very useful. This is a water filter. This is I think it's called Catadine Be Free. This also gives a bit more water capacity, because I think, yeah, this is a 1 liter thing as well. But yeah, a lot of the water sources on the Arizona Trail are pretty dirty, so you definitely need to, well, I don't know if you need to, but I would like to be filtering my water. Got a little torch or flashlight. This is the Rovi Von A5 or something like that. This basically acts as like my headlamp. So I'll be wearing like I need to get like some kind of a sun hat for, you know, for sun protection. It's like a wide brimmed hat, but this has a little like pocket clip basically, so you can clip this onto a cap or a sun hat or whatever, and it will just, you know, it'll clip on and stay there and act as like a headlamp. It's you don't put batteries in it, it's like rechargeable. So I have like a battery bank which I like charge all my, my phone and my Garmin InReach and whatever with this battery pack, and I'll use the same thing for this. Has a bunch of different settings. I usually just keep it on the low setting, but it has like a red light. It also glows in the dark. It's a good little light. It's also like really like lightweight. It's tiny. Okay, so I've got some cables, just for charging, whatever. There's, USB-C and micro USB, depending on what I need to charge. And then this is my like wall charger. It's an Anker. I think it's called like the Nano Power Port or something like that. It's tiny. It does quick charge. So when I'm in town, I don't have to spend ages charging. It makes a big difference with the quick charge. And it's tiny and super light. Doesn't take up any space. Oh yeah, I have these wind trousers or wind pants. So say like early morning, it's really cold, or late evening. These just add a little bit of warmth protection, because I'll be wearing shorts, so I can just put these wind pants on as well. These are by Enlightened Equipment as well. They're extremely light. They weigh like 1 ounce or something. Take up no space. So yeah, add a bit of warmth. And then this is the battery bank, or the power bank or whatever that I have. This is an Nightcore NB 10,000. And this does quick charge as well. This is basically the most efficient battery bank that you can get in terms of like the weight to power ratio. Yeah, it's a perfect, it works well. Then I got some toilet paper. Got this tiny little toothbrush and some toothpaste. Got a little Victorinox knife, like it has scissors on it, it has tweezers, tiny little knife. It's for like small things that you need getting done. I'll cut my fingernails and my toenails with this as well, with the little scissors. Use the tweezers, say I get, I don't know, a cactus or something on my hand. Yeah, and that's everything in here. I'll also have some sun cream and some basic first aid, like some like blister band-aids and some polysporin or something like that for like if you get a cut. Anyway, basic stuff, not much else. So that's basically everything. Yeah, I'll put a link in the video description which has all of the gear, and it has links to like the websites where you can buy all the gear and see how much it weighs. I think the total pack is actually only like 5.5 pounds, which is I don't know, like less than 3 kilos. It's definitely below 6 pound base weight, so that's before you include the food and water. It's about 6 pounds or 5.5 pounds. Yeah, if you have any questions, comment below. Thanks for watching.